Hi, my name is Stephanie, and welcome to Yaya's Reading Nook. I am going to be doing the Newbie Tag today. I got these questions from Audrey over at Chapter and Converse. I will try to link her below, but I'm not sure what I'm doing, so if I don't get to link her, sorry. You can still go over to her channel. I mean, you don't have to go through me. There are 10 questions to this Newbie Tag, so let's just start with question number 1. Why Booktube? Well, I've been watching Booktube for about 4 or 5 years, and I've really enjoyed it. Got a lot of good recommendations from people who were Booktubers and even from people who weren't. And I just thought maybe I should try it. I've been thinking about doing it for several years, ever since I moved from Alabama up to Tennessee. And this past birthday, I just told myself, you're going to do it. Sometime this year. I mean, it's getting close to the end of the year, but at least I'm doing it. And I just want to be able to have a platform where I can discuss the books that I've read and hopefully discuss with other people the same books or different books. Question 2. What unique things can you bring to Booktube? There's something really unique about me. I guess you could say my age. I'm somewhat older than about 97% of the people on Booktube. So with that comes a different way of looking at things in the world, a different way of looking at life. And I think that would be the most unique thing for me. I can't do a, back handspring or anything. I'm a little bit too old to try it. Question 3. What are you most excited for on this channel? I think maybe just meeting other people and being able to talk about my books. Also, just being able to have another side hobby, as my son put it, and see what it brings. You never know what's going to happen with it. It could become a good thing, or it could just fall down the drain. Who knows? Question 4. Why do you love reading? For me, reading is an escape. It gets me away from whatever bad is going on, not in just my life in general, but in the world. It's not a very fun place to live right now for some people, but for me, having a book is going to get me away from it. I can go back in time. I can go forward in time. I can go to the moon. I can go, under the sea in a submarine. And it just affords you to be able to do anything you want to do without actually having to do it, if you get what I mean. Number 5. What book or series got you into reading? Well, it's probably a book. Maybe it's a series. I don't know. It's a bunch of books put together. And it was the Frog and Toad books. I really liked those. Oh, and Curious George. I forgot about him. I really liked Curious George, too, when I was little. Because he got to go on all kinds of adventures. I've been up since 5 o'clock this morning, y'all. It's 5 in the afternoon. Almost. Yeah, I need some bedtime. Yeah, so it takes away all the bad and gives you all the good. Now, granted, if you're reading a World War II history, historical fiction novel, and you're in Auschwitz, it's not going to be a fun ride. But at least you're not really in there. You can shut the book and be back in the real world. Question number 6. What questions would you ask your favorite booktubers? I think I would ask them why they wanted to be a booktuber. What got them into it? Was it just for themselves, or were they hoping to build a channel up to where they were getting sponsors and monetized and people sending them free books? I mean, is that why they got into it, or did they get into it just simply for the love of the book? Also, I would ask them how long it took them to learn the editing process, maybe what editing software they used, what kind of, No, I think I would ask some of them how they come up with some of the stuff they come up with. Is it just something that pops in their head, or is it something they've thought about for a while? Because I know Kayla on Books and Lala, I was watching her the other day, and she was doing a reading thing, and it took her 8 months to get it finished, or to go from start to finish. And I was like, does everything take that long? Because 8 months is a long time, y'all. We're past the 8-month period in this year. Okay, number 7. What challenges do you see facing with the Booktube channel? The editing. Not being so hard on myself. Not judging myself when I'm trying to put these things together and download them to the channel. Because I'm very picky about stuff. I want things to be perfect, and nothing's perfect. So there we go. And the editing. Yeah, I'm not good at that. This may not be edited, people. Sorry. When did you learn to read? Was question number 8. When I was young, there was no pre-K, and kindergarten was optional. Your parents could send you to full-time daycare that they didn't have to pay for, or they could pay for daycare. Then when you went to first grade, you went to first grade through 12th grade. Then you had to decide, are you going to go to work? Are you going to go to trade school, which they call junior colleges now? Are you going to go to a 4-year school? Girls, are you going to school to get an MRS or a real degree? Stuff like that. So I think first grade we learned our letters. We learned to write our names. And we learned to write easy words. Like the, this, boy, girl, stuff like that. At the end of first grade, maybe into second grade, is when we started putting together words to make sentences. And then I'm not sure what book the teachers gave us, but we started reading probably middle to end of second grade. So by the time I went to third grade, I was reading a lot. I figured out you could do that. You could put words next to each other, make a sentence. That sentence can make a paragraph. Paragraph could turn into a page, and pages could turn into several pages, and you've got a book. So, kindergarten or second grade going into third. Number 9, where do you read? I read most anywhere. Yeah, I read at work on breaks and at lunch. I read at home. I read if I'm flying to see one of my kids. I read on the plane. Usually I have my Kindle with me to do that. I've even read at a wedding one time. My niece got married about 3.5, 4 years ago. I showed up 2 hours early. I wasn't going to go home. I didn't really have anything I needed to do or go anywhere I needed to go during that 2-hour span. So I pulled my Kindle out and sat down and started reading. I wasn't in a church. I had it at a different venue. So when it was time for the wedding to start, I just turned my Kindle off and put it in my purse and watched the wedding. And let's see, question number 10. What kind of books do you read? I read mostly historical fiction because I was a history major in college. I read also mystery thrillers. I read contemporary romance or contemporary fiction, literary fiction, cozy mysteries. I'm trying to read a little bit of horror. I just bought Stephen King's The Shining, and I'm going to read it in October during spooky season or whatever they call it in October. I really don't read sci-fi or fantasy. I do know that House in the Cerulean Sea and Under the Whispering Door do have some fantasy in them. That's fine. I just don't want a 6-inch thick book that I have to read to make everything make sense. I don't care about world building and fighting a dragon or anything like that. So, those are all my questions that I got from Audrey. There was only 10, so this was short and sweet. If you have any questions for me, you can leave them in the comments below. Make sure they're nice questions. Make sure you're not rude because I will block you. I'll figure that one out real quick. There's too much ugly in the world to be ugly on a booktube. Tell me what you've been reading. Give me some ideas of books that I might not have heard of. Because there's a lot of books I haven't heard of. And, yeah, I hope you like this video. I hope you'll give me a thumbs up. Maybe think about subscribing. And I will see you in the next video. Hopefully. Bye-bye.